Thank you, all of you. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for what we are about to do. WAMU had a headline recently that said, Hogan has the polls, Jealous has the numbers. Let's see who wins. I have a message for Mr. Hogan. Polls don't vote. I lost every poll in the primary, then I won by 10 points. And let's be very clear, how do Democrats and like-minded independents win in Maryland? We win by turning out more than 1 million voters. How do Republicans win? They win when we don't win. A Republican governor candidate has never even gotten 900,000 votes. Hogan got 885,000 votes 12 years after Bob Ehrlich got 880,000 votes. Last time we won 2010 when my running mate Susie Turnbull was not just part of this wave of women running for the first time across the country, but helped build that wave. She co-founded Emerge Maryland on her porch. When Susie was chair in 2010, we turned out more than 1 million voters. We already have 5 times more organizers on the ground than we had in 2014. We're halfway to where we were on election day 2010. We're going to get all those organizers on the ground. We're going to get all of our volunteers on the doors and on the phones. We're going to turn out more than 1 million voters, and we're going to make Larry Hogan one to What do the people want? Barbara Jordan asked. The answer, she said, they want an America as good as its promise. Why are our families in Maryland? Why did my family come here in 1941? Granddad to work the B&O Railroad. Grandma went to work for Planned Parenthood in 1941. Why did they come here? Why did all of our families come here? Why did we stay here? Why did my parents keep sending me back here even after their marriage here was against the law and they were disallowed to return to the state because living here across racial lines as man and wife was against the law too? Because the promise of Maryland, the reason we believe in our state is that it has always been a place, supposed to be a place where our promise is simply this: achieving the American dream here, holding on to it will be easier than most places in this country. And if we're honest, what's the state of that promise after 4 years of Larry Hogan? It's rusty. Our schools have fallen in the national rankings every single year he's been governor. Murders are up. And I say this as a Marylander who's had 2 family members shot in Maryland in the last 10 years, one in Howard County, one in Prince George's County. Murders are up statewide if you do not count Baltimore. In 23 other counties, Maryland, murders are up 42% since Larry Hogan's been in office. If you include Baltimore, it's up even higher still. Healthcare costs up 120% in the healthcare exchange, the base premium. And we are dead last in the region in job growth, dead last in income growth. Larry Hogan, who said that he would not lose one Fortune 500 company, just became the first governor to actually lose a company, not a company that was acquired, a company that was here to acquire another company. He just was the first governor to lose a Fortune 500 company in 30 years. Now, what does it mean to be dead last in the region in income growth? Let me put it in perspective. If we had the growth of Virginia, we would have 50,000 more jobs right now. And we would have $8,000 more in the average worker's pocket over the tenure of Larry Hogan in office. Well, guess what? Virginia has grown slower than the national average. That's the punchline. In other words, they're below the national average. We're way below. And we can do so much better. So how do we do that? We get back to being the party of FDR. The party of JFK, of RFK, of MLK, of Barbara Jordan, and Barbara Mikulski. The party of working people and small business people. when you were walking to my grandma's house, my grandma's a 101-year-old retired Maryland social worker who trained an even younger social worker named Barbara Mikulski.
Wow.
Very religious woman of a deep faith that led her grandfather out of slavery. Her grandfather was born a slave, died a state senator, co-founded Virginia State. And you would walk into her house, and the first picture was Jesus, and the next picture was the bishop, and the next picture was FDR.
Oh, yeah.
And then she had the covers of Life magazines and Ebony magazines with an assassinated JFK, an assassinated RFK, an assassinated MLK. Triumphant Barbara Jordan, a photo of her and Barbara Mikulski as social workers. And why was FDR next to Jesus and the bishop in my grandma's house? Because in the depths of the Great Depression, on the eve of World War II, he stood up and leveled with the American people and said, this is the height of our problems, and here are solutions that rise to the height of those problems. And we will all do better because we will all do better. We will be more courageous. We will pursue the solutions that actually lift all of our families in lifting all boats, build a stronger middle class. And here we are in this moment. And what I say to you is simply this. In this, the richest state, the richest country on the planet, it is not that we have so much of a money problem when it comes to education, it's that we have a priority problem. When I'm governor, we will keep the broken promise on the casino money. We will fund education first in our budget. We will fully fund our schools, and we will give our teachers a raise. When it comes to health care, our problem is a courage problem. The state employee retirees like my grandmother stand to lose their prescription drug coverage on January 1st. The governor wants to blame Martin O'Malley. The governor's been governor for 4 legislative sessions. I would say, buddy, the buck stops with you. And you failed to lead. When I'm governor, we will take on every pharmaceutical company in the country on the price of every pharmaceutical in the country. We will get a deal for the people of Maryland at least as good as whether in Canada or the VA. And we will make sure that we respect the fact that in this country, the world's greatest democracy, we understand that health care is a human right, and we will make sure that we enforce it inside. It's time for us to admit that we are being overcharged, that the corporate health care system has failed, that Medicare works, and finally win Medicare for all. Comes our economy. Somebody who invests in tech for good, who invests in tech companies that make the world better for working people, like Pt1, co-founded by a Morgan State grad who had done some time for marijuana distribution. And we will legalize cannabis for adult use when I'm governor and take the money that we save and pay for universal health care for all our kids. He found it because it was so expensive for his family to stay in touch with him. It's cut the cost of calling home from prison by 80%. Most of its tenure has grown 20% a month. Those are the companies I invested. And what I know is this. Our #1 job creator in Maryland are the entrepreneurs of Maryland. The people who lead our growing companies, our small businesses, our startups. And when I'm governor, we will put the Maryland government firmly on the side of the entrepreneurs of Maryland. We will have an entrepreneur's Bill of Rights. We will make sure that we benchmark our regulations so that while we protect our environment and what's important and our workers, we also get needless obstacles out of the way. People who don't want to grow a brewery in Maryland or a restaurant. Or keep their startup here. In other words, that if you back your small businesses, if you back your growing businesses, you don't have to always give away the company store to get the corporation. And we will build a 21st century economy on the strengths of Maryland. We will lead the world again. We will be back to being numbered in the top 3 health sciences industry regions in the country. We used to be. We can be there again. We don't need every corporate headquarters here, but it's time to stop losing corporate cybersecurity headquarters to Virginia when we have all the government assets here. We can actually build those jobs here, retain those workers here, strengthen our communities by building more jobs in cyber, and we will go further on climate than any other state in green technology. We as a state will finally get to 100% rely on clean and renewable energy, and if we're going to lead the world and lead the country in clean energy consumption, then we will lead the country in green technology production per capita. We'll build turbines in Baltimore City and Baltimore County and float them right down the bay, having removed Andy Harris by turning out more than $1 million. And we will embrace, in this state that is 53% women and 48.5% people of color, we will take that 29% aspirational goal that they've set for the inclusion of both groups in government procurement and contracting and flip it into the floor.